I wish I'd have known that it doesn't have to control your life. And that had been the main thing for me. I hadn't really realised that you let pain take over your life. And that was the main thing. I've had lots of tests and what have you. And was always down after the tests because nothing was ever found. And I think then realising that just because you've got pain doesn't mean to say that there's anything wrong was a big milestone. And that pain can manifest itself in many ways for many different reasons. So that was a big one for me. I think that getting to learn your body was quite important as well. So if you had a task to do, don't boom and bust. Don't go ahead with everything and try and get it all done at once. Try and think, well, if I don't get it done, I'm a failure, because that's not the case.
That there wasn't a magic cure or a magic pill. I have now learned that it's the adjustments that I make in my life that allows me to live the life I'm living now. I wish I'd had the toolbox I now have that allows me on a daily basis to say, this is how you're going to do today, this is what happened yesterday, this is how you're feeling, this is what you're going to do to make it a good day for you. I've learned that I can ask for help. I've learned that I must accept help. Those were big issues for me because nobody could do anything the way I could.
Once I'd learned that pain didn't necessarily mean that there was anything wrong, and I realised that you could actually talk to your pain, and I learned a skill where I talk to it. So if I have a bad day, I will talk to my pain and I will acknowledge that it's there, but then I will say to it that it's not going to stop me doing something. Another thing that I think I learned was sharing. I'd always kept my pain and my anxieties to myself, and I learnt then that once I shared and actually told close family and friends about my pains, that they then understood. So they understood why I maybe didn't get something finished one day, or they might understand why I was quiet. And that was actually quite a revelation in that sharing pain with somebody. So it made you realise that you weren't on your own sometimes. Breathing has become a very, very important part of my day. If somebody had told me 10 years ago that breathing would have made a difference, I would have possibly laughed at them, because we breathe naturally. But there are many different ways to breathe, as I've since found. So if I was to have a flare-up, by controlling my breathing a little bit better and more, I could find that I could control it a little bit better, maybe ease the pain a little better. So if I was having a stressful time at work, maybe just take myself out of that situation, go and breathe. I think coupled with breathing, I've also found mindfulness has been a great help. So that taking myself out of the situation where I may have been in pain or what have you, and sitting quiet, concentrating on my breathing, having a moment of mindfulness, taking myself to a desert island or a deserted beach, listening to a bit of rock music, whatever it is, just sitting there, mindfulness breathing, bringing yourself back into the moment to a certain extent, it has helped. And I think that the breathing has been one of the revelations and has actually changed the way I breathe on a day-to-day basis.
So for the first couple of years for me, exercising was, oh no, I'll break myself. I can't do that. My arm's going to fall off if I do that. My spine's going to break. And for years, I literally walked like an Egyptian. I didn't move the neck here, I didn't move the neck there. In fact, I went hunting for a car that had a reverse camera, so I didn't have to move my neck at all. because moving my neck, moving any part of my body outside of the walk like an Egyptian narrative meant that I would break. I've learned that if I move, it's better for me. There once was a time when I would never be so animated with my neck as it is, very scared of my neck moving anywhere at all. And I learned little exercises, little and often, or frequent exercises, would take me to a space in my life where I moved my body again, like a human being, you know, not like a mummy. Now I do movement, I do my exercises. My exercises sometimes make me look ridiculous, but I actually enjoy doing them because it means that I'm actually exercising. The word exercising now applies to my life, and it's not something I thought would ever happen again.
Oh yes, I found lots of sites. Two of them were Flipping Pain and Managing Life with Pain, which was really good, and they were really useful because you found on those that you weren't on your own, and people were there. And I think by reading up about things as well, which is how I came across breathing as well, and on a course that I was on. So you look at things, you can go to the internet, and most things you can find are there.